but the alternate halftime show that was going to be put on by the Turning Point to play and the Kitty Crack Rock dude, and they were really going hard for Creed to perform. And you remember what I told you about the young red hat creators, dear? How they were on podcast and they didn't even know who the Creed was? They have officially canceled their alternative halftime show.
So rumor has it that they're already talking about canceling that, separate but equal halftime show they wanted for themselves. Because once again, darling, they don't have the numbers in real life.
So Turning Point USA halftime show has been canceled because you can't do a halftime show full of Xbox bots. I can't speak.
MAGA had an idea of organizing their own halftime Super Bowl performance because they didn't like the idea of a Spanish singer to be performing on an American stage. But if I tell you that this whole idea has already been crushed, it is already flopped before it has even begun because it is cancelled. This was supposed to be organized by Turning Point USA. But they realized that actually the singers they are suggesting, none of their podcast MAGA people, those people that be in the comment section, know any of them. So they don't have the numbers. And they're also realizing that the accounts that were saying, yes, we are going to support our own, they are bots. So the alternative halftime show concert by MAGAs is cancelled. You may think I'm making this, but I think we have to look at some of these videos, how the rest of other Americans are reacting to this, because they could not believe, these people would even fantasize or think of having an idea of doing this. Let's watch. We'll come back and talk about it. Do me a favor, like, share, and let me know what you think in the comment section as well. I'll be back with more.
Well. Y'all remember when we were talking about the little halftime show? Well, not the real halftime show, but the alternate halftime show that was going to be put on by the Turning Point. Yes, indeed, the Red Hats threw a fit over Bad Bunny, so the Turning Point decided she would put on her own halftime show. She got no net Ted Nugent to play and the Kitty Crack Rock dude, and they were really going hard for Creed to perform. And you remember what I told you about the young red hat creators, dear? How they were on podcast and they didn't even know who the Creed was? Well, turns out they don't know who the Creed is or no nut Teddy Nugent, and they could give two f***ing about the county fair show from Kitty Crack Rock. Nobody wants to go, so they have officially canceled their alternative halftime show. They don't have the numbers to even put on a f***ing show. 90% of their base on social media is bots. Literally.
49 million fake TikTok accounts that were all supporting Trump just came out as fake. Basically, the military raided this little server plan, and as you can see, it's all of the different phones hooked up to a massive network on this computer, and it's basically just pouring out Trump propaganda. Now, is Trump behind this? We don't really know. Whirlpool just dismantled a sim farm for hire platform that powered 49 million fake accounts used for global fraud. 49 million in one room? That is insane. 49 million fake bot accounts. I told y'all, half the people we interact with on an online daily basis aren't even real. The rage bait, the witch hunts, the race wars unplugged. Dead internet theories alive and playing out IRL. This account's probably not even real. Britney, this doesn't even look real. This account's probably not even real as well.
Honey, you've got Laura Loomer, the who is fucking nuts, face of 1,000 cuts, over there on the Twitter streets every day, losing her shit to bots. She's dancing around in circles, arguing with bots, honey. These are not the brightest people. Hell, we watched the love child of Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, Marjorie Taylor Greene, literally argue for a week with Grok, honey. She was having a fight with an AI. Lord help us. But yes, I mean, we already know 90% of red hats on the internet are bots. They're not even real people, baby. I mean, you talk about echo chambers. I hardly even go to the twatter streets anymore to get you the tea because it is an echo chamber like I have never seen. It's unbelievable, honey. It is unbelievable. You go underneath like Laura Loomer or Alex Jones or any of them, Benny Johnson, any of them. You go underneath their post, and their post will have thousands of likes and millions of shares and thousands of comments, and you go down the comment section and it's just bot, somebody in the blue, bot, somebody in the blue, bot. I mean, they're creating content for bots and AI. Talking about not having a purpose in life, honey. Lord, bless your heart, honey. Your whole purpose in life is to create content for bots, for bots and AI. My, it's not a good look. But either way, I guess all you red hats are just gonna have to tune in to the real halftime show or take a break to stuff your face with some more sausage balls and cheese. Like,
you gotta laugh at this. So the T-Pain USA, yeah, it looks like they're getting a lesson in capitalism because see, National Socialism, it's been proven not to work. Let me explain. So you all know that the NFL booked the biggest Latin star on the planet, Bad Bunny, and they did that because they're anti-fascist and they're capitalist, which means they want to gain more customers from outside the United States. And they have found that Hispanics are actually 52% more likely to buy tickets to the games and 35% more likely to buy team merch. In other words, there's a lot of profit outside the United States that the NFL wasn't realizing. So they started programs like Por la Cultura, which was honoring Latin players because obviously if you see a Hispanic player on the field and you're Hispanic, you're more likely to buy their merch, to support them, to be excited about watching a sport that people that look like you are included in. That's capitalism, anti-fascist capitalism. But see, like the rest of the National Socialists and the Republican Party, Ted Nugent and Kid Rock, they are anti-capitalist. They are just like the bad man of Germany, which said that we're going to have German products for Germans only. In other words, Kid Rock only wanted to sell his music to people who looked like him. And TPUSA only wanted to have bands at this halftime show that looked like them and represented them. And that's why National Socialism fails, because they don't have enough customer base in order to get people to buy tickets to their show, which is why it's failing. And that's also why Kid Rock and Ted Nugent have failed, because they never diversified. I mean, that's Capitalism Finance 101. You need to diversify your portfolio, duh. So while the anti-fascist capitalists are succeeding and are about to make bank and get a huge audience for the Super Bowl, probably one of the largest audiences for the NFL halftime show that they'll ever have because it's going to be a global scale, the National Socialists, who are the anti-capitalists, the Americans for America, they're going to have to shut down their show with their tail between their legs because nobody gives it about it. And that's why capitalism rules.
So rumor has it that they're already talking about canceling that, separate but equal halftime show they wanted for themselves. Because once again, darling, they don't have the numbers in real life. Okay? The bots don't count as viewers. After all that whining and complaining and bemoaning, there's not enough actual interest in it. There aren't any good stars. The crowd for that just isn't as big as they wish it was. It's just like their unwashed people in the woods community. They made such a stink about having their clear only club. We're discriminating. We have lawyers so no one can come at us for being discriminatory. What do you mean nobody cares? Remember, I told you it shut down. It shut down. They had to return to civilization because they couldn't even build their unwashed people community. They had tents. They couldn't even build a shed. When they try to build their own with no one they can exploit for labor, it fails. And when we try to build our own, they invade our space and burn it down. And then pretend like we never built anything for ourselves. And take to the internet to say more dumb things. If they're so great, how come they don't build their own and leave us alone? We do. And then you get upset and jealous and then you come in and destroy it. Because if you haven't noticed, this is the only culture that believes that they belong everywhere and insists that they get access to everything. Not only access, they want to show up and then tell you what to do. They want to show up to your business and tell you that they need to see more crosses here. These are the people that go to a Mexican restaurant and complain about the staff and the cook all being Mexican. Then they go to Mexico and complain that the people there are Mexican and not speaking English to them. These are people who are proud of the fact that they barely speak and understand one language and are mad at anyone who can do more than that. So after all of that crying and bitching and moaning and getting their tidy whities in a twist, they don't even have the numbers to support their own second show that they wanted.
Y'all, in today's episode of As the White Hood Turns, listen. Now, apparently, Turning Point USA has come out and said that people who are saying that they have in fact canceled their alternate Super Bowl halftime show are wrong, and that it's misinformation, disinformation. They said they have a fantastic lineup starring, can I get a drum roll? Laura Trump. I can't stop laughing. Lara Trump, somebody named Tom McDonald. I ain't never heard of him, but then again, I don't really be over there with the country music too much unless it, cross over. I ain't never heard of Lara Trump. And of course, Bruce, what's his name? Lee Greenwood, he gonna get up there and sing his one-hit wonder. And there were rumors about what's his name? Jason Aldean tried that in a small town. But he has not confirmed. But all these alleged, supposed conservative stars, ain't none of them come forward and say, yeah, we're going to do that. But they have definitely confirmed Lara Trump and Tom McDonald. If y'all know who Tom McDonald is, please tell me, because I don't know him. And of course, they just all out here saying it's a lie, it's a go. They done rented a stadium in Santa Clara, and it's going to be better than Bad Money, may. Okay, we about to see. Okay, anywho, I'll be back later. Okay, bye.
So Turning Point USA had to cancel their alternative halftime show in protest of Bad Bunny doing the halftime show for the Super Bowl. Evidently, nobody knows who Kid Rock, Ted Nugent, or Creed, that never agreed to play, are. Their own podcasters are like, who the hell is that? Or, Kid Rock, don't he play rodeos and fairgrounds? They couldn't draw anybody. And my friend, Christina Talks Tea, pointed out that 94% of their base are bots, so all the responses that they got were fake and wouldn't actually show up to a concert. Yeah, they don't have enough people to even throw a halftime show, let alone have a halftime show.
Hey, good morning. I'm Gay, and the Turning Point USA show has been canceled. So, as you remember, the Turning Point USA people had such a problem with Bad Bunny being a Bad Bunny that they were going to throw their own halftime show with special guest Ted Nugent. Who exactly? Also starring Dr. Phil's Bunyan and a ball of lint. So yeah, that show got the cancel and Gretel because all of Donald Trump's fan base are now bots and they can't show up in person. Y'all, I had a dream last night. It wasn't necessarily the dream that it was happening. The dream, I was trying to find my junk drawer. And while I'm looking for my junk drawer, I'm hearing news. Like I'm hearing like a newscast in the background. This was my dream. I don't remember the exact gist of it, but the end result of what I was hearing was that Donald Trump had fled the country, but had taken all the gold from the treasury. So my question is, who's in charge of the treasury right now? Because if it's one of his cronies, We need to... It was like Donald Trump is missing, Donald Trump is gone, nobody knows where Donald Trump is, but there's nothing left in the treasury. Like, there's no gold. I don't know if this was like Fort Knox. I don't know. But he was gone, and he had taken everything. That was my dream last night, and I think the junk drawer is very pertinent because the country feels like a junk drawer right now. I feel like we are in a school bus with 3 flat tires going 300 miles an hour with a drunk driver at the wheel. Anyone else? With all of that said, remember that in the universe, in the bigger picture of space, everything's fine. Everything's fine. We are all in space together, no matter if you're gay, straight, Paula Deen, it doesn't matter. You can't get out of the fact that we're all in the universe together. So take a deep breath. It's going to be a good day.
So Turning Point USA halftime show has been canceled because you can't do a halftime show full of Xbox bots. I can't speak. Sorry. It's my birthday today. Turning 50. I've had a little bit to drink. So Turning Point USA has had to cancel the halftime show because literally all of X that was supporting them was mainly bots. And nobody knows Creed. Nobody wants to go see Creed or Kid Rock. He's not a draw for a halftime show. So it's been canceled. So all you MAGA, I can't say the words I want to say here. That believe that this is going to happen. You've been conned, like Trump cons you every single time. It's easy to con the gullible. As P.T. Barnum once said, a sucker and his money are soon departed.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have late breaking news. This is so breaking that I don't think Aaron Parnas has caught on to this story yet, but I'm going to need you to sit down. And if you are any sort of weepy or tear up easily, grab a tissue. But if you don't have a tissue, it's okay. Okay, you can use your shirt sleeve. I understand. I know. This shook me. This shook me to my core. And I don't know what I will do. So here is the latest breaking news. Turning Point USA is considering canceling their Super Bowl halftime show due to lack of interest and being unable to obtain a right-wing star large enough to draw a crowd. What? What? Are you telling me that Ted Nugent isn't available? Or Kid Rock? Or Lee Greenwood? How can this be? How can this be? Wow, I am shaken to my core. And I'm sorry that I had to be the one to tell you. It hurts me. It really does. What if they just have Laura Trump come out and sing some songs? And then maybe lead them in prayer. But if I had to know this information, you had to know it too.
So it's official. Turning Point USA alternative Super Bowl halftime show has been canceled. They don't have the numbers. Nobody knows who Creed is. And not even Fox News could have hyped up enough of attention to Turning Point USA halftime show to even bring in the numbers. What's funny too is that both Kid Rock and Ted Nugent did not agree to even appear there, so that wasn't even going to happen, no matter what. And nobody really cares about you guys. Nobody, not even your own supporters, cared enough to even go to this alternative Super Bowl halftime show. How pathetic is that? Now the fact that all of you MAGA are still pissed off that Bad Bunny's going to perform. Tough shit. Enjoy the Super Bowl. I know I am. Have a fucking nice day.
Hey guys, it's Leash. Listen. So, I don't know if you've heard, but apparently Turning Point's halftime show has been canceled. And to that I say, like, guys, like, did you really think it was really going to be this spectacular, like, event that was going to go down during the Super Bowl? Like, it just cracks me up that folks were, like, even entertaining the thought that this actual halftime special, the alternative halftime special, was about to be that girl. Like, are you kidding me? What? First of all, the lineup: Kid Rock, who was it, Ted Nugent, and possibly Creed. And from what I even heard, I mean, a few people have said, and let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, because listen, but a few people have said that Creed apparently didn't even agree to this thing. Like, what? I mean, it's just so funny to me. Like, the more and more that you see the fall of these people, it just gets crazier and more hilarious each and every day. But what a bummer. Turning Point. I mean, y'all tried it. Y'all thought that y'all was gonna come out here and do y'all's big one, and whew, well, better luck next time.
So all along, these people don't even have the numbers. Guys, I came across a video on TikTok and it was talking, hopefully I have incorporated it in the video, right? But it was talking about how majority of the MAGA people, content is literally having a lot of spirals from bots, and that they made research and exposed a lot, hundreds and thousands of bot accounts. They are not real. It is another level of desperation when you literally have to employ something else to help you, to insinuate that you have support, when in actual sense on ground it is totally different. I think I have known and seen trollers and all of that. I've heard of that. But getting trolling accounts, those bots and all of that, just to make it seem that you have support and everyone likes what you're doing, but in actual sense, I know why they have cancelled, because they knew they could not stand the embarrassment and the loss that was going to come out of this. Because if you were to ask yourself, why did they cancel it? I thought they are so upset about a Spanish singer. And I know the thing is, even some people didn't know who Bad Bunny was. Because when I made videos, you could see that a lot of people were like, who is Bad Bunny? And that's when they were like, I'm going to start, looking into him and all of that. Some already know that he's a Spanish superstar, like he's big in the Spanish world, right? But so many people did not know who he is. And the thing is, actually, even those that didn't like the idea of a Spanish artist, they didn't know who he was. Instead of doing and digging and doing some homework, they instead fed into the narrative of, oh, he does not speak English, or he's not American, he's from Puerto Rico. Meanwhile, after I think a few weeks, that's when we hear Donald Trump, talking about how he called the president of Puerto Rico. We have a saying over here that some people, they don't get ashamed anymore. They are shameless, right? But rather, they are embarrassing, like they embarrass you. I'm talking about how, I am not ashamed, but I'm not ashamed of embarrassing you. And I feel like Donald Trump is not embarrassed at all himself. He's not ashamed. He's shameless. But he does better at shaming others and embarrassing others. That's the level he's gone to. He lies. Guys, this is the president of the United States of embarrassment. This man goes on the media and he's like, I talked to the president of Puerto Rico. Where? And now, here we are with a Turning Point USA. They can't. They know they are going to be embarrassed because I feel like they cannot stand having the second-hand embarrassment because they know the people they were suggesting, nobody even knows them. And can I tell you something else which is very interesting? Yes, most of the artists they were suggesting, they're not even Americans. They are not. They are Canadians. Simply because probably they are white and they speak English. You know, that is very telling. They knew this is going to be very much telling. They are saying they are not racist, but they would rather go for a white man from Canada instead of having a US citizen who speaks Spanish and sings, specialized in singing Spanish. These are the results. Let me know what you think. How many of you are going to go to Turning Point USA, concert, the halftime show concert, if you were in here watching? Because you know what? I even have some muggers that watch me for your information. Yes, some muggers watch me too. So I'm wondering, but I feel like the muggers that watch me really are not sold into this narrative of racism. That's not what they are for. There's just their expectations were totally different because they thought things are going to be like really working out for the country. And unfortunately, they got duped. Got duped by the lying man because, I mean, he's so good at convincing people that he's good and all of that. And they are there. But how many of you, even some people were like, we don't know who he is. Were you going to be able to go to the event that was organized by Turning Point USA? Now, what do you think about this whole thing flopping before it is even been, staged? What do you think about it being cancelled? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, share, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I think from me for today, that's it. I do love all of you guys, and I'll see you later. May God watch over you and protect you. I love you. My name is Gracie. Till then, bye.